Kentucky, quack, quack. Fatality.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Neurodiverse Wrestling Obsessed. I'm your host, John Arroyo, and we're going to be reviewing EVOLVE episode 25 to 27. This is where things really heat up. I keep saying it, but it actually really heats up. So let's get right into it. So we start off with Chantelle Monroe and Kylie Rae in a woman eliminator match. It was really good. Chantelle Monroe pretty much brought it to Kylie Rae, pretty much beat her up in the corner, taking out her arm. Great back and forth with both women, but at the end, Chantelle Monroe hits a reverse code breaker for the win. Chantelle Monroe is really good. I cannot wait to talk about the match that she has later for the EVOLVE Women's Championship, but this women's division is stacked and it just keeps on heating up. Then we got Kevu saying he's done taking out the ID program men. He wants Jackson Drake, and he literally wants the title. Then we see Vanity Project Jackson Drake is scared. They're trying to calm him down, but then Zeta Steel says, Bryce Donovan, you cost me a match last week. And then Bryce is like, no, you're better than Lola Diggs. And then Strike White is like, well, we need to take care of the job tonight because we've been on a losing streak. Then we see Callie Armstrong talking to Stevie Turner, and then about who's going to be your next challenger. Is it going to be Carmen, or is it going to be Chantelle Monroe? And then the big cat Nikita Lyon shows up saying that she wants the match. And Callie Armstrong is like, hell no, you didn't even made it into a woman eliminator qualifier match. And Stevie Turner says, you know what? How about a fatal four-way for the title? And then both women look mad, but that match was so good. I'm going to say it. This women's four-way match that I'm going to review soon, I would say it's one of the best matches of EVOLVE, like, for the woman. And it really shows that the women's division in EVOLVE is really hot and on fire. Then we got the tag team matches, Right versus Eric Rogan and Marcus Matters. And Aaron and Vicky started out the match with lockups. Aaron pulling hair, very diva coded. I loved it. And then he hits a dropkick, sending Vicky across the ring. And then Marcus and Aaron does a cool like mixed tag. So like he kind of like uses him as a launcher pad to hit a springboard DDT. I thought it was really cool. A big brawl happens. All men flying around, but Marcus hits a flying stunner, but then out of nowhere, Bryce Donovan sneakily hits Marcus with a big boot, letting Swipe Right pick up the win. So at least one part of Vanity Project is getting wins, but we have to see how all of that plays out. Then we got Jamora Hampton and It's Gal working together in the gym. They was really hype, and they're kind of like getting along, and I kind of maybe like this tag team. Like they're talking about how they have to be on the best of their game, and we're gonna see later. Like they are pretty much gonna make a tag team, and I kind of like it. We're starting the tag team division in in EVOLVE. Hopefully, we get titles soon. Then we have Kendall Gray saying that she's done with Wendy Chu. She took out Carly Rae. She's being creepy, stalking her during her matches. So next episode, she wants a match against Wendy Chu, and that match was good, and it kind of like sets Kendall Gray up to be one of the top women in EVOLVE. And then we got the main event of Rich Holland versus Super Sean Legacy. If Rich went right away to Sean Legacy, beating him the hell up with punches and a big slam, but Sean fought back with drop kicks, but Rich hit a cannonball for the win. Literally, Sean Legacy is on a losing streak. And then out of nowhere, Ice Williams backstage says, I'm back. And then he attacks Super Sean Legacy. Weird way to end this episode of EVOLVE. Now let's go on to episode 26. Now we're on to episode 26. So we kick things off with a surprisingly intense opener, Kendall Gray versus Wendy Chu. Wendy Chu showed up playing mind games, doing her best. But that didn't stop Kendall Gray. But she did take Kendall Gray down early. But Kendall fought back with really good sequences, great locks, fast movement, staying in control. 1 point, Wendy hits a nasty crossface, and then later a killer cartwheel clothesline to Kendall's face. Ouch. In the corner, brutal attacks, but Kendall wasn't backing down. She fought back, hitting an armbar, but then Wendy Chu hits a sleeper hold, but Kendall Gray reverses it into a pin for the win, even though Kendall Gray gets knocked out while doing it. So technically, Kendall Gray won, but she won by pinning Chu, but she got knocked out. So we have to see how this rivalry continues, because I don't feel like that's the end of this. Then we got Ice Williams doing a promo backstage saying that he's better than Super Sean Legacy. He's been on the indies grinding and working, and Sean Legacy says he's the face of Evolve, but lately he's been on a losing streak. So Ice Williams is here to take over, and he wants a match against Super Sean Legacy to show him that he's not very super. So we have to see how that all plays out. Then we get Brooke Jensen versus Jordan of Races in a big man fight. It was brutality, no fancy stuff, just power versus power. Jensen was working on Oasis' arm, but then Oasis reverses the tie with a big slam. 1 point even diving on the outside. That was pretty crazy. The crowd popped for that for sure. Jensen turned things around by slamming Oasis' hand into the ring post on the outside and then hitting a big clothesline for the win. And then after the match, he grabs the mic saying that he is coming for the Men Evolve Championship. So we have a lot of men coming for the men's title, so a big storyline is coming, and I cannot wait to see what it is. And we end this episode off with the Women's Evolve Fatal 4-Way for the Women's Championship with Kylie Rae, Chantelle Monroe, Carmen Petrovich, and Nikita Lyons. Absolute fire, guys. Right away, all women started brawling. Carmen and Kylie went back and forth with submission holds. And then at one point, we had like a 4-woman submission hold. Like, it was getting crazy. Carmen did a Stratusfaction, a homage to Trish Stratus. Out of nowhere, Nikita Lyons did like a double split leg suplex, like split leg drop kick, almost getting the win with a double pin. That looked bad as hell. And then Chantelle Monroe does a head scissor, letting Kylie Armstrong fly into Nikita Lyons, hitting a DDT. So these women was going at it, okay? These women were brawling. And then at the end, just great back and forth. But then Kylie Armstrong hits the Kylie connector for the win. I don't think it's nobody who can beat Kylie Armstrong. Like, she's pretty dominant. And I want to see, like, if somebody takes a title off of her, would she move straight to NXT or something? Because Kylie Armstrong is so dominant, and she's kind of like the face of Evolve. You would think Jackson Drake is, but no, Kylie Armstrong is the face of Evolve. So now on to the last episode that I'm going to be reviewing for this recap. And now on to the last episode of the Evolve review. So we open up with Super Sean Legacy versus Ice Williams. Ice did nice work working on Sean's arm right away. Then Ice beat him up in the corner. Sean sent him flying to the outside of the ring. Ice hits a twisted suplex, but then Sean reverses it, hitting a surfboard. But Ice reverses with big elbows on the top rope. Then Sean hits the shambles for the win. Really good back and forth match. Like, it was really good. And then after Sean Legacy says that he is next in line for the championship, then Idiots comes out saying, no, he is. And then a brawl breaks out. And that's pretty much the whole point of this episode. Like, everyone's fighting for the championship for the main men's division. And we're going to see it throughout the night. Then we got, how do I even explain it? It was just a straight up squash match. So we had Kylie Rae versus Mason Holiday. Y'all, no offense, but Mason Holiday has no aura to me. Lola Diggs have more aura. It's just, I don't know if it's like the way her moveset is or like the way she's in the ring, but like she just doesn't have aura. She gives more like create a superstar. Like, I'm not trying to be rude, but like, where's the gimmick? Like, where is the character? Where's the little oomph? Kylie Rae kind of pretty much beat her up and hit a crossface for the win. Then we get the main event. So we had a tag team match with Hurley, Richards, and Jackson Presley versus Adrenaline Drip. And yo, Jax and Harley dominated this match, okay? These are the big men tag team that Evolve needed. Pretty much just tossing Cartwheel around, throwing Cappuccino Jones around, like literally demolishing them. But then Jack Cartwheel comes in, pretty much taking out the big two guys, and then at the end we get a multi-man waterfall, like each man flying to the outside of the ring. But then out of nowhere, Jackson and Hurley back in the ring, Jax toss Cartwheel into Hurley to hit a killer spear slam for the win. Really good, and I can see how this men's Evolve tag team scene is evolving, if you see the pun. And I cannot wait. Hopefully they announce titles, because this would be a really good, like, if we need more people on Evolve, or if you need storylines, a great tag team division. Because you have Jackson Hurley, you have a Gelatin Drip. What happened to Gallus? I think you still have Gallus. You maybe have It's Gal and Jamar Hampton. So, like, you have a pretty stacked group, and I want to see more what they do with this men tag team division. And then at the end of the show, like the closer, Stevie Turner comes out about to announce Jackson Drake's next opponent. Then Vanity Project shows up saying that no, Jackson Drake is not going to defend the title against K-Vu, and he's not going to defend the title against Super Strong Legacy or Rich Holland. Jackson Drake should decide. But then K-Vu comes out saying, oh, hell no, I've been demolishing all of you, so I deserve the chance. Then Rich Holland shows up. Then Rich Holland gets taken out by Tate Wilder. Then Josh Briggs comes out saying he wants a match. So then everyone just starts brawling. And that's how we pretty much close Evolve. And Stevie says, you know what? Let's have a three-way match. So pretty much it'd be K-Vu, Brooke Jensen, and Jackson Drake. And I cannot wait for that. So hopefully you guys liked this week's episode of Evolve. I'm almost caught up, guys. We're so close to cutting up before Gold Rush. I cannot wait. And I'm really happy. Like, Evolve is really, like, good, and I really like it. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time.